You're tuned into news across the galaxy where they talk all things LA Galaxy with the NAG Boys. Let's start nagging.
What a ball for Ricky Peach.
News across the galaxy. Keep on nagging, guys. Your six-time MLS Cup champion, LA Galaxy.
Welcome to News Across the Galaxy, where we talk all things LA Galaxy. My name is Brian Lobos, and tonight I am joined by my two co-hosts, Edgar Zuniga. How you doing tonight, sir?
I'm all right, man. I think I'm feeling better than the team despite the week that I've had. So that's saying something.
And my other co-host, Mr. Eduardo Campos. How are you doing tonight, sir?
I'm doing okay. The Oscars seem cool.
That's
Wait,
cool.
the Oscars were tonight?
Yeah, Honora won Best Picture. I haven't seen
I
Honora.
don't even know
yet.
what that is.
I don't even know what to say. On the ones and twos, Mr. Pretty Easy, Pretty Simple himself, Chuyaso. How you doing tonight, sir?
Pretty good. Chilling.
Before we get into any Galaxy stuff that's going to depress us for the rest of the night, there's been a request for me to read off some MLS Fantasy table standings. In week 2, we had a couple matchups. Noob gets it, played 57 Assassins FC.
I love that name.
57 Assassins won 66 to 53.
Yep.
Boo.
Sikemaka played. Who's that?
That's gotta be Cisco.
Sikemaka played Mini Peckers Elite. Mini Peckers Elite won 73 to 62. Averkapek played, let's see the name, T-Shark. Averkapek won 59 to 51. Sober Penguins played Gudino Art FC. Sober Penguins won 47 to 38.
Silver.
No Yeet Galaxy played Jehovah's Blessings. No Yeet Galaxy won 40 to 36.
No yeet.
These Nuts all the time played
Oh shit. Hey, take it easy.
played Yoshida's Custom Beanie. Yoshida's Custom Beanie won 66 to 55. And in the standings, Averkapek is leading the table with 2 wins and no losses. Right behind Averkapek is No Yeet Galaxy with 2 wins and no losses.
No yeet.
Noob gets it. Mini Peckers, Sikemaka, Yoshida's Custom Beanie, These Nuts all the time, 57 Assassins, Gudino Art, Sober Penguins are all 1, 0, and 1. Jehovah's Witness and T-Sharks are in dead last.
How old are these people that are playing? Listen to those fucking names.
But that's hilarious. Noob gets it. Anyway, that was week 2 of our NAG MLS Fantasy. Yay.
Wasn't really ready for that segment, hey Brian?
I was
Yay.
not. Yay. All right, and before we get into the more Galaxy stuff, did you guys watch Elimination Chamber?
I'm not even interested like that.
Bits and pieces of it, but yeah. I saw it after I put the child to bed. I actually sat there and I watched it, and yeah, it was pretty good. It was one of the best elimination chambers I can remember.
Best PLE since SummerSlam. That's all I gotta say.
It was pretty
Oh, yeah, I
solid
forgot
from top
Goofy's
to
here,
bottom.
I forgot.
Oh, hey, what's up, Goots?
Hey, Goofy. Talk to us about Elimination Chamber.
It was, like I said, the best PLE since SummerSlam. That's all I gotta say.
Dude, the Cena turn blew my mind. I had
You know what?
Not me, man.
Hey,
Let me
hey,
tell
hey,
you.
hey. This is what you get, bro. You tell one of my childhood heroes to go fuck yourself, Then one of my favorite wrestlers is gonna fuck you up. But dude, it was like a nerd dream for me. Fuck Cody Rhodes. Hey, Cody Rhodes, you go fuck yourself.
Hey, calm down, Eddie.
Nah.
Hey,
Jeez, what's coming
sorry.
over you, man?
The funniest thing about the ending is, you know how they finished the show or whatever, and then Cody Rhodes had like this dramatic ass walkout where people were helping him out the ring, holding the ropes open for him so he could get out. He looked all fucking like, oh, what happened? All bloody. I thought that was hilarious. It was like a little over dramatic, but
You know, I
Yeah,
think
still did
that
it.
the
was
reason they did that is
overkill.
because they forgot to tell Travis Scott it wasn't it was it was supposed to be scripted, and that dude like legit like smacked the hell out of him.
He
And I
sucked the
think
shit out of him.
and I think they were telling like Cody like, hey, when you go back, backstage, don't kill that guy. All right, take it easy.
What was Travis Scott doing in there, bro?
He
I don't know. I didn't get
he
that
was
part at
burning
all.
sage, man. He was burning sage. Remember?
Oh
Oh,
yeah, he did do that.
I came up with my own theory, but I'll do that after why Travis Scott is there.
What would you say right now?
No, because it's
I mean I can. It's just probably gonna take a minute.
That's cool. We don't want to talk about the Galaxy's depressing ass play.
All right, why Travis Scott? Do you guys remember when the whole thing happened at his concert? And like
Oh.
there was this whole controversy like of how people believe in rituals and sacrificing people and like
Mhm.
selling your soul.
Mhm.
So he's already sold his soul. Yeah, so that's why I think he in particular, they're never gonna say it or acknowledge it. But just my theory, it's a person that's already sold his soul.
By
That
the
is
way,
awesome.
this Cena turn has been like 20 years coming, and the reason I say that is because I don't know if some of you know, but I used to be the main writer for Dub Magazine, DUB, Dub Magazine. I interviewed hundreds and hundreds of celebrities during that time, athletes. And one of my favorite interviews was Cena. I got to interview him a couple of times. And I remember the first time I asked him the same question I think you guys would ask, like, "Hey, you've done a great job as a face, but are you gonna turn heel anytime? Is there something you want to do?" And he's like, "Man, I want to turn heel so bad." He goes, "But Vince won't let me." He was like, "He sees too much, too much money coming in, being a face." He's like, "But I really want to turn heel. I think it would be so much fun. I already have it planned out in my mind." And I was like, "All right." And so, literally, like almost 20 years later, he finally got his wish.
Yeah,
Damn.
and it's cool because now that there's no more Vince McMahon, Triple H is gonna kind of let him do whatever the fuck he wants. And this is his last rodeo. On his shirt, it said, what was it? This is my last time now or some shit. You know how he has that little
Then you
whatever.
can't really see me or something like that. Yeah, that's what every shirt says. Like the one from every city that he does.
after this you can't see me.
Yeah, after this you can't see me.
No, something about my last time or some shit like that.
The
You know
last
how
time is now.
whatever that shit. That was kind of cool. This is last year. Let him go heel. Fuck it. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah,
We're
it is.
finally gonna get to see this man go back to the thugonomics, which I hated so much. The doctor of
That was
thugonomics.
fun, dude. What are you talking about?
Everyone out there that's not a wrestling fan, I'm sorry. Not really, because you know what? I'm sorry that you don't get to enjoy this. You don't know.
Keep up with times.
Yeah,
fool.
this is. Let's see. How do we explain this heel turn in a? It's like if Uncle Phil, has shown you how much he loved the galaxy, and he fucking, he's done everything to make us happy, and all of a sudden he's like,
He relocates the team.
I'm gonna sell my shirt to Levas.
Bro, when you say Uncle Phil, I thought you meant like Prince of Bel-Air, and I was gonna say you could have just said Will Smith, because he was beloved for so
No.
long, and then
It's
all of a
galaxy
sudden
terms,
that dude
fool. I
just
said in galaxy terms.
okay.
Yeah,
It'd be like
what
if Landon
it's
Donovan all of a sudden said, I'm gonna coach at Levas, and then you're like, whoa.
or he threw on a Levas jersey.
Or a heel turn like Marky Delgado when he scored and
or
he
you-
pointed to the badge.
Or he busted out a Mexico jersey, and he's all like, "This is my other team."
Nah, those are
My other team is Mexico. That's
those
the
are
best
weak.
picture
Those
ever.
are weak examples. This is why you guys don't get the big bucks like me.
All right, enough wrestling talk. I guess we gotta talk about this stupid game. Before the game even started, Edgar was lucky enough to talk to the guys from Terminal City FC podcast. Shout out to them, and they had some interesting things to say about Vancouver and some interesting things to say about the LA Galaxy. Edgar, can you take us back through that conversation that you had with the boys?
Well, I think what we could get the most from it was the fact that there was so much turnover in Vancouver. You're here in LA, like we're dealing with the whole fact that the Galaxy roster that we saw at MLS Cup is no longer there, right? So many of the guys had to leave. Well, they had a pretty good manager there in Vinny Sartini. He's not there anymore. He's gone. So there's a lot of turnover. There are questions about whether or not Vancouver was going to stick around because the ownership group now, which has had the team since they first started, um, they're pretty much putting up the team for sale. And unbeknownst to a lot of people, the Vancouver Whitecaps do not own BC Place Stadium that they play in. It belongs to the local governance, and so there's a lot of questions about the future of the team. They brought in some new players. What's going to happen with the Whitecaps, and their biggest thing was being able to start off strong, being able to find a good owner that's going to keep the team in the area, and some way somehow remain relevant. And they're in the Champions Cup as well. So, but you know what? Their new manager came in. They have some solid players, and they've put together a pretty decent team. And the one thing we have to remember about them is that they were a whisker away from beating LAFC in the playoffs last year. They just ran out of gas, and they smashed the hell out of Portland in the first game of the season. And now they also took care of LA Galaxy. I mean, granted, it was a wounded LA Galaxy team, but in talking to them this after the match, they said it's the first time in 7 years that the Whitecaps win their first two games of the season. And it's the first time in 7 years that they win the first home game of the season. So
Yeah.
things are working out for them. And just to cap that off real quick, the LA Galaxy, they rarely ever win up there. They've only ever won 5 times. And the match referee going into this match, people said, Edgar, you read too much into this. Like, no, there's patterns. The referee was Drew Fisher. He was the same ref that handled the game between Galaxy and Seattle in the Western Conference semis, and the Western Conference final. And yeah, that result went in the favor of the LA Galaxy. But as far as regular season games is concerned, in 19 or 20 matches now that he's refereed, Galaxy have only ever won twice, ever. So, and he's from Calgary, Alberta, Canada. So, whoa, something to look at.
It's like kind of yeah. Also,
Whoa, who the hell's that?
What is that thing? It's like a hockey puck. Look at that. It has one eye and it's sad.
It's like, yeah, like Mike. No, is it Mike
It's Mike
Wazowski?
Wachowski.
All sad.
Mike
Oh, he's
Wazowski.
all gray. He turn off
Raindrops
the lights. He's so
falling
sad.
on
Look at
my
him.
head.
something is wrong with
That
our
doesn't mean my eyes will soon be, or I will soon be turning. There he is.
there, yeah.
The quail call.
Yeah, dude.
By the
Chewy,
way, that's
you remember
oil,
how
man.
Chewy, you remember how long it took us to teach Brian to wear his underwear inside his pants? That was a crazy summer.
Oh, we have in the chat that there's no audio. If you guys can hear us in the chat, give us a thumbs up.
Uh-oh.
Imagine we've been talking for 10 minutes and nothing's.
Yeah. The wonder why
That would suck. We don't have millions and millions.
we had to do the whole wrestling talk all over. Fuck.
Nah, as soon as somebody gives us a thumbs up in the chat, we should keep going.
Well, if they don't, oh, there you go.
Give us a thumbs up. There we go. We do.
Okay,
Okay. We don't got to go through the whole wrestling thing again.
Just sitting here, just waiting for someone to do a thumbs up.
Thumbs up. All right. Where was I? The injury list. Of course, we have our two DPs out in Ricky Puig and Joseph Paintsill. The newcomer, Mateus Nascimento, is dealing with a groin injury. Who he did get his visa, by the way. So whenever he's ready to go, he's going to be able to see minutes on the pitch. Mauricio Cuevas is also out. And last but not least, Mickey Yamane. That's 3 starters of the LA Galaxy out with injury. Um, we
Oh my
seen,
god.
yeah, we seen what.
Sanabria,
Well, that's
Garces is
after.
also hurt.
Those are the players that were injured before the match.
Hey, Edgar,
Yeah, before the
split it.
match.
Before the match, yeah.
No.
So let me get to the starting lineup against a Vancouver side who they played at home last time, right? And they ended up whooping some ass um, at BC Palace. So let's go with the back line. Mikovic at goal. John Nelson, Maya Yoshida, the newly acquired Zanka, and Emiro Garces outright. In the midfield, I don't know why who scored has it a 4-4-2. Was it a 4-4-2? Anyway,
It's like
Fagundes out left.
yeah. Go ahead.
Fagundes out left. Edwin Cerrillo, Winder in the middle. Gabriel Peck out right. And Miguel Berry and Sanabria up top. They has it as a 4-4-2 here, but I think it was more like a
Yeah, it's
4-2-3.
just
three
drop.
Or
three.
4-2-3-1.
Yeah, just drop
something like that.
Sanabria into the middle. I see the
Yeah,
formation you're talking about.
yeah. So that was like big surprises. For one, Zanka debuts with the LA Galaxy in the away match. Number two, Miguel Berry getting the start. It could be due to the reasons that we're going to talk about later. There's a midweek game for the LA Galaxy in CONCACAF Champions Cup. So maybe that's why he got the start this time around. And then, Mikovic gets the nod again at goal. Gentlemen, was there anything that surprised you about this lineup?
Well, I'll start real quick
Zan-
because
Zancaleta starting instead of
Zancaleta.
because when you had
Um,
Alde on the bench, like you could have just done a regular, non-experimental formation. I don't think I understood that. Why in a short week, if you're gonna play, uh, what's his name? God, I forgot Hazanka. Why are you having Garces out there as well? You're just running these legs into the ground. I don't know. I'm sitting here, Vanny's sitting where he's sitting, so I just didn't get it. Like, so that was a bit of a surprise.
What about you,
bro, is
Edgar?
the Y6 coming after you, man? Your screen is glitching, man.
Worry about your
Maybe.
screen.
My screen doesn't glitch like that. I just have some lag.
Yeah, it sucks for
Um,
you, huh?
yeah, it does. Um, no, I think the biggest surprise to me was the fact that Garces was playing out at
Way
a
back.
wing back,
Mhm.
and because I was like, at first I saw it, and they don't tell you who's in what position, and I thought, wow, they're coming out with 3 center backs. That's kind of odd. Um, and then once the game started, you saw how they were lined up. I was like, that's kind of weird because I know he's quick, but I don't see him as a wing back. I mean, I know he could probably fly up the flanks, but I don't know. And then I saw Mikovic back in there, and at that point, I'm wondering, is McCarthy banged up and they're not saying anything, or did he like accidentally trip Vanny like in the locker room or something, and Vanny is upset with him because Mikovic is back in there, and as much as I know a lot of people like Mikovic and they see him as like a better option than McCarthy in these last 2 games, we've seen some of his limitations. And but seeing him lining up, I was kind of surprised. Uh, I think those are the biggest surprises. I was also pleasantly surprised to see Elijah Winder back in there because I thought
Yeah,
he did well in the first game, and he did well again. But we'll get into that later.
yeah. Well, shout out to all the road warriors that went out there to Vancouver to support the LA Galaxy. You guys are crazy to go out there and to support this team without their star players, but you guys went out there and did it anyway. And of course, every time you go to an LA Galaxy game to watch the games, you expect the team to perform and to win. And luckily for us, 3 minutes in, we get scored on. Yay! uh, this this goal was very quick. I don't think we've been hit this quick with the current rosters that we've had. We didn't get hit this quick anytime last season, did we? Hmm. So what does this tell us? is the defense not able to communicate, and maybe Zanka being in the starting lineup kind of messed the flow of things? Or what do you think it is, Edgar?
I think that they're still trying to figure out some stuff. Early season jitters. Um, there's so many variables going into this because Zonka. I mean, I was listening to this and they were saying how Zonka and Yoshida have so many years of distinguished experience, right, for big clubs in Europe and other parts of the world, and you would think that they would be able to figure out a way to work together and limit some of the attacks in Vancouver. But then there's also the fact that they've never really played together before, other than practice games, right, and a few preseason matches.
Mhm.
And when you're a center back, we've discussed this before, right? When you're a center back, you have to be on the same page, the same wavelength. You have to be almost in the head of the other center backs that are with you because you work as a unit, and you have to have that communication, almost like a sixth sense, like you know what the other one is doing, and it takes a while to build that. It doesn't happen overnight. Um, so I think that might have factored into the fact that they give such an early goal because Yoshida had he had a difficult time in the run up to that goal.
I mean, the goal was quick, very quick. Who do you think that
Yeah.
landed on, Eddie?
Mm, man, I don't know. I think if I remember correctly, let me see. Sorry, I was actually looking that up and I got stuck because my camera had fallen, so that kind of threw me off. If I remember correctly, I feel like Zonka is like the guy that you kind of got to put on that, just because when you're in that kind of position, right? He leaves the angle to drive that ball low. I'm just trying to remember who the first person was when they got caught in that on that play when they played it through. But that and I mean, if we could just talk about the also Mikovic, right? That as a keeper, you know never to spill into the center, and yeah, that's a big one on Mikovic as well. Actually, man, you can put that on a lot of people.
Yeah, I think you can
Yeah,
put a little bit of
whole
blame on
team.
Garces on that one for not following his guy.
Garces. Actually, Zonka's probably the one you probably wouldn't put it on.
Mhm.
I'm all talking shit just because the new guy. Fucking Zonkaleta.
Zagaleta. Yeah, it's from my perspective, it seemed like it was on Garces not
Yoshida,
following
actually,
through.
too.
And then the thing is, like what you said, Eddie, about the goalie splitting the ball straight in the middle. But I think those are the type of balls that you just had to put a hand on. The guy had beat Nelson already, and you had to, by any means necessary, get a save. It just happened that it fell in the middle. Garces wasn't able to follow his guy. And I think in that first half, Garces had somewhat of he had trouble playing on that right flank. Maybe because he's used to playing as a center back instead of a wing back, but he seemed a little lost. What he had in his favor was that he was really fast and was able to recover fast and get back on defense and not make a bigger costly mistake and maybe get scored again. But in that first half, yeah, you see right away what we're missing in the defense too. Mickey Yamane, um, he does a lot on the defensive end, and today was very evident. Um, I know it took the LA Galaxy a while to warm up. I mean, we got hit early with the goal. After that, it seemed like the Galaxy had most of the possession of the ball, but with nothing. Well, like with no threat towards Vancouver.
Let me ask you guys
Go
though.
ahead.
Do you feel like that was by design? Because I mean, we all did our best to watch this game, right? That first
Mhm.
half was a freaking snoozer.
Well, the whole game was a snoozer.
More
If we're being
more
honest.
that first half than anything.
Yeah, that first half, it just seemed the way they were trying to build out from the back. Mickey, Mikovic was not. I don't know. They were holding the ball too much back there. Another person that's clearly missing is Ricky coming down and grabbing the ball from the defense to push it up. It it just didn't look it didn't look nice at all. And Gabriel Peck was not getting any type of service. The balls that he did get, it seemed like the Vancouver Whitecaps were able to defend whatever the LA Galaxy was trying to do.
Not only that, keep in mind, I think one of the things that bothered me to this game too, and especially in the first half, Sergio was horrible today. I thought he was horrible.
Oh yeah.
He every time he'd get the ball, like he would either like do something. I think he would either do too much. This dude, bro. I think he would either do too much and he would lose possession in like a dangerous spot. And right there, I think that was part of the reason why Vancouver was somewhat like on us all of that first half, and until some point where we just got control of that ball. But I think Serio was horrible today, and I feel like he was one of the reasons why we were kind of bad today, like just in the first half overall.
I actually tend to disagree with that. It
No,
feels
no, actually,
go ahead.
I want to double down, and I want to agree with that too, because one of my biggest complaints was they weren't for long times they weren't really pressing us, and we still had trouble playing out of the back. And I think Syria had a lot to do with that. He would either give a poor ball or he turned into traffic when he wouldn't pass, and there was a lot of that. There were some miscontrols. I don't know if you want to blame any of it on turf, but obviously you're not putting the full blame on Cedillo, but I feel like he had a big part in a lot of things that we were dispossessed in this game.
Yeah, and I was hyping him up last week, saying that this year could be the year that Sergio takes that jump. But also in this match, he's playing with two other center mids that he hasn't really had that much time with, in Elijah Wander and Lucas
That's
Sanabria.
that's fine, but then what Spenny said on the chat is true. You know, this is maybe the time where he needs to find his voice, and he's now MLS Cup champion in one city. You know, he started with a championship team, so he's been there, done that. He's learned. He's trained with Royce now for months. You know, he's trained with Ricky. He trained with Brugman. He trained with people with Delgado, veterans that have done this in many places. So maybe this is where Cedillo's game steps up this year is learning how to become a leader on the field. Because you mentioned new people. These new people are supposed to be well, not necessarily upgrades, but you know, a little quicker. And well, Sanabria is supposed to be an upgrade. Winders, you know, he's making the jump from USL, but you know, these are the moments that may come up again, and where he has to throw these guys on his back and just be the voice out there. So I'm not gonna excuse him for having new guys around him, because he's, like I said, he's been there, done that now.
Yeah, dude, but hopefully he does get better for sure. Because I feel Sergio is a very important part of that midfield. But at the same time, not just because you're a really good player means you're gonna be a good leader. It doesn't correlate. So sometimes that's all you need. You just need the best player in that position that doesn't want to be a leader and doesn't need to be a leader. He
Edgar, how do
has
you see that?
one or two miedos.
Edgar, how'd you see that?
No, those are both good points by both Eddie and Chewy. But I also feel that uh, it's difficult to bring your A game almost every single time and not have like a game where things just don't work out for you. And it's especially when you're young and you're still developing the a resilient mindset where you're able to, sorry if you guys hear my son in the background, but if you're able to overcome, like maybe you feel like I don't feel good today, I don't have the get up and go that I normally have, right? But as you get older, you're able to mentally charge yourself up and say, there's things that need to be done, and you force yourself to get up and go. But when you're younger, you're much more emotional, and and like sometimes that affects you. And maybe he feels like there's a lot of responsibility on his shoulders, because yeah, he is an MLS Cup champion, but was responsibility that was shouldered by people like Diego Fagundes and Mark Delgado and Daniel Velich and some of his other teammates that were there, and they could all work together and function as a unit. And now there's some of that pressure on him, and the fact that Lucas Sanabria is still trying to find his footing on this team. maybe he feels like he has a lot of pressure on himself, and maybe he just didn't have a good game. Simple as that.
Yeah, I still want to give him the benefit of the doubt because he is playing with two newer guys. So it's kind of hard to get the spacing correct the first time that you play with a group like that, especially in Winder's case, which is this is his first start in MLS. So he was also trying to find his rhythm in his match. But you mentioned a player in Diego Fagundes. Eddie, how did you see Diego Fagundes in his match, in particular in that first half?
Non-factor.
Good to see him.
That's
Great
it.
seeing him.
Yeah. For people that are listening to on the audios, I did the whole Cena can't see me hand wavy thingy in front of my
Can't
face.
see me, man.
So yeah, no, non-factor. I mean, not all of it's his fault. You really didn't get to fed the ball into the space he may wanted to, but yeah,
Yeah,
non-factor.
this whole
I
first set.
feel Vancouver knows, or well, yeah, they came in playing like if Painto was gonna be in that wing, and they were just gonna not let nothing happen on those corners, right? Like Peck and Fagundes, they really didn't fucking see the ball at all. They
Yeah,
weren't allowed to get fed. So I think Vancouver did their job when it came to that. That hey, these ends doesn't matter who is in the ends. Those are the main keys. It's like they don't they don't care about Barry. Yeah, Barry did a good play, but they don't really care about Barry. Who the hell's Barry? They don't care,
Yeah,
right?
and the
They're
thing
not
Oh,
about
gonna double
Barry
Barry,
is,
team
we
him.
need to put some respect on that name,
oh
Trey.
yeah,
the thing about Miguel Barry is that he's able to give you bursts of offense, like especially when you bring him in late in the game, right? But maintaining that sustained level of attack throughout an entire 90 minutes, he's not going to give you that. He's not who he is. Especially at the MLS level. Maybe he could do it if he played from some lower division team. But um, I was going to say, Eddie, Elijah Winder, he's good. Remember, you kept questioning him. I'm sorry to call you out like this, but you kept questioning, like, why did they bring this guy in? Why? The kid's good, and you're seeing it. You saw it in week one. You saw it again this week. I think he's going to be an important player, especially with so many injuries piling up. You're going to see somebody like him step up because he stepped up for his team in USL for Louisville City, and he's one of those players that he was playing at USL level, but he he was so he was good enough that he's going to make that step into the to the next level, and he's going to succeed. At least I feel that way.
yeah. Well,
Hold on. Look. You're calling him good right now. Today is March 2nd, 2025. The Galaxy are 0-2 and have put up two stinker performances. We'll visit that again when the Galaxy gets hot and starts winning. So he's good in this kind of situation. So, Nana.
well,
And also, dude, like
He's not as. Sorry, go ahead, Chewy.
I was gonna say I'll bring this up too because I was in the same position with Eddie. We never said that why are they bringing this kid? It was more of the hype for me or for us wasn't there. There wasn't the hype that oh yeah this kid's great. Da, 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 da. No, he's just another kid that they're bringing in. I don't feel the hype for him. Yeah, he's okay. I'm not even gonna call him good. I'm gonna say he's an okay player.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
it.
not saying he's bad either. It's just look at this game. The two games we just saw. He's gonna be serviceable. He'll give us those garbage minutes off the bench. I don't think he'll come in and make a game worse. But as far as like getting excited, it's just another depth piece. I don't know. It's too soon for me.
I wonder how many people were saying the same thing about Johnny Nelson when he joined the team.
Not I. As soon as I saw the difference, as soon as I saw Johnny Nelson, I was like, that guy solid. I gave him the name The Rock. All right,
John the
Right.
Rock Nelson.
I did. I did.
Yeah,
Well,
Eddie sold his
also,
soul to him.
I call them all. I sent Zubak packing. I I
well, to
sent
be
McBean packing. I sent Efra packing. So
to be
Packing
fair,
nugget.
to be fair, Winder coming in a position where we are desperately in need, it's kind of unfair to him because replacing anything that Ricky Puig does is nearly impossible for anybody to do unless you're spending
Okay.
another DP spot.
Let's talk about this then, real quick. Do you think that Marco Royce would have done better if he would have got started with Winder in this match?
No,
No.
sir.
Wait, hold on. Let me ask you that question. Define better. What
Had a better
was
impact
gonna?
because Royce came in and he was a ghost.
Well, yeah, well, we'll
Like
get to
you
that.
said,
I know, but we're talking about better. We're talking about impact. It's like all
that's the
right,
thing.
Winder
All
cover.
that Bundesliga experience, right? All that national team experience, and you come in, and Elijah Winder had just as much of an impact on the game as
You
you
know
did.
what? You know what? Yeah, I'll die on that. I'll die on that hill. I'll say yes. In this game, Royce would have done better. And I was telling Guti and Tony, who was watching the game with, that this game was slow. This is the game that he could have came in and he could have broke the lines, right? Where Cerrillo was turning the ball over, Royce could have probably distributed that ball. And maybe in this situation, it's a tough one because Cerrillo, does certain things. But a Royce instead of a Cerrillo would have been better because of what the mistakes Cerrillo was making and turning it over in dangerous positions. So you want to talk about impact? Then yeah, I'll say yeah, maybe Royce would have done in this particular game because it was a slow, boring game. He would have had the space to do it.
And
But
what did he do when he came in?
well, we'll get to that because the LA Galaxy did tie the game in the first half,
He
and
did
an
as much as
amazing,
Winder.
an amazing hustle play by Miguel Berry, being able to steal the ball in their box, knock it back to try to hit somebody in. The man Gabriel Peck put it in back of the net, and he did a pretty cool celebration. I don't know if it was the what is that? Reading the
The
Bible?
Bible, yeah.
Jesucristo, Jesucristo.
I thought he was opening his notebook for goals. That's what I thought it was. What the fuck?
No, he opens his. It's like he's reading the Bible and then he points up. That's what he does.
Yeah.
It's obrigado, whatever the Brazilians say.
39th minute.
It was
the
a
Galaxy-
shout out. It was a shout out to Edgar reading his Dub magazine article.
Wait, but hold
39th
on.
minute.
I gotta say this. You're giving Barry a little bit more props than you need to. He didn't get the ball back. He never.
Yes, he did.
The other team never had the ball.
Elijah Winder made that play.
But
Yeah,
He's-
he never.
he's-
The other team never had the ball. He just made it so that the other team didn't get it
Should-
away from him.
Should
I don't care. Fight me. He
should-
did what he can.
Hold on.
Alright?
Should I shit on Edgar and Chewy right now?
No, hey, go back.
Or,
and look at the play.
or on Brian, I should say.
Go
Actually,
for it.
No?
Winder was one who took the ball down the flank, fed it to
Okay.
Barry. Barry stumbled
cool.
with the ball and then kicked it back across the box because he couldn't do anything with it. And that's when Peck scored.
So, poor ball by Winder. Fortunately, the Vancouver
boo,
defender
look at this
slips
guy.
on that fucking carpet they call a field. And Miguel Berry, I think, left that defender dumbfounded because he couldn't control it, and that's why he goes like, and he fell. And no, I'm just kidding. It was good hustle by Berry.
Believe in Miguel Berry. Well, he got credited with the assist, and I'm gonna give him a lot of credit because that's one of the things that we talked about Miguel Berry, that he goes in there and he's a disruptor. He might not be the most skillful forward that we have in the LA Galaxy, but he'll give you some good hard hustle minutes. And in that play, that's exactly what he did. Gabriel Peck put it on the side of the goal, a bunch of defenders in front of him. It's like he bullseyed that shot, and the LA Galaxy. I took a deep breath because the LA Galaxy almost at the half ended up scoring and tying the game, and I didn't feel as bad going into the half. This game did end up with a couple of yellows in the first half. Gabriel Peck got a yellow at the 18th. Sebastian Berhalter,
Soft yellows, by the way.
soft yellows, but by the way, ref was bad with these calls.
It's Drew Fisher. I'm not surprised. I have listen. I shouldn't get into this, but I feel like this dude literally has something against us because this happens all the time, and these dudes were doing the same thing back, but they were getting away with most of these calls. It was we would do a little we would go in and take the ball and these was drop and ref would blow the whistle and give us a yellow. I'm more mad about that no call, that red that they didn't see in the second half, because that step that they got Sanabria with was horrible. Any other day, I guarantee you that would have been a red. But the fact that they didn't look at it was horrible.
That was an ugly
That was
stomp.
a horrible missed call right there. And I don't know what is wrong with Drew Fisher, but the fact that he still has job now is pretty sad.
Damn, Guti's just messing with the man's livelihood.
No,
He needs
no,
to feed his
he
family.
You guys want to
But
something fascinating?
now with the injury, there's a good possibility that the referee association, whatever the hell, like the committee,
Correct.
is probably gonna go back and look at that play.
No,
Because
you
now
know-
you have
you
an
know-
injury reported. From
Here's
a
what's gonna
starter.
happen. Here's what's gonna happen. We see that we're harassing the refs on online, and they're gonna put out a stupid statement saying, "Oh, referee harassment is not like allowed or anything like that," and they're not gonna do anything about it. They're just gonna let it go and just continue on and let it keep happening. It's like I've
Wait,
seen
you're
it so
talking
many
about
times.
you're talking about the 2024 MLS Ref of the Year, Drew Fisher. By the way, you guys, in case this is fascinating to me. In 19 matches last season that he refereed, he only handed out 2 red cards the entire time. And like I said before, in all the Galaxy games he's ever like refereed in the regular season, they've only ever won twice.
Oh,
Yeah.
sick. By the way, we totally skipped something we got to give credit to. Mikovic did make a huge save in that first
Oh,
half.
he did. He did get a good save.
Is this like Bond? Everybody gets one, right?
Yeah.
Look,
No
Mikovic
excuse. I
had-
said no
look,
excuse for Surreal earlier, so I'm not gonna give him.
You know what? And the commentator says something during the game that diminishes that big save. It just to a regular save. They said the commentators when I was watching said, "Oh, right before the game, that's exactly what they were practicing on the game. That's
You know-
exactly what they were doing." Hey, what?
Edgar, who was the commentator?
In English, it was Rogandinho.
Yeah, in English.
Oh yeah, it's Canada. They don't do Spanish.
Rogandinho
No.
and also Heath Pierce,
Yeah.
I think.
Who was the first one?
Mark Rogandinho.
Bitch ass sellout.
Hey, but they were saying that they were
That was a good
practicing
save.
that during their warm up. So hey, so if you're practicing that, you expect something like that to happen. Then.
Nah,
We
fuck
should-
up. I'm going to heal because I've seen the fuck that. fool.
It's
should-
a regular save.
We should have watched.
It's a regular save.
I don't know. I think that was a big
Ho-
save,
ho-
honestly.
Yeah.
Hey, look, dude. Hey, the way they, if you think about it, they kind of did take out Mikovic, but he recovered enough to save that, bro. He really did.
So let me
I-
ask you,
I-
regular
I-
save? I say it's a great save.
Yeah,
think it's a
it
great
is
save,
good
too.
Yeah, it is a great save.
I'll
Edgar?
give you a big save.
By
Edgar,
the way, no, it was a good. It was a better than average save. How's that?
Chewy Rogandino ass.
You should have watched it in Spanish. Paulo Ramirez
By the way,
was-
You couldn't watch it
Something
in
I wa-
Spanish. In Canada, they don't do Spanish audio programming.
Something
they
I
had
want
a
you guys
Spanish
to keep in
commentator.
mind as we're talking about this game is the fact that we already know LA Galaxy is in the Champions Cup, right? So is Vancouver. They had a match just this past. It was on Thursday. They had a match on Thursday against. Oh my god. Against
Saprissa.
Saprissa. Sorry, Saprissa. And so they're going through the same thing LA Galaxy is going through, and they're
Gonna
going to
go
help them.
through. We
They also
haven't
have a
even
game
started.
that's coming up soon on the 5th. So can you imagine if
Against
Galaxy had to
Monterrey.
play this team like at full strength, having had a week off? They would have blitzed the Galaxy, man.
Yeah, and we'll get to the Champions Cup later on. But look, this match was chippy. There was a couple yellows. That nasty tackle on Sanabria that should have warranted a red card. The refs
if this was
The fact that they don't even look at it.
that's what that gets me mad as well. Like, why wouldn't you want to look at that?
And then you could you talk about Drew Fisher, but that it's not just on Drew Fisher because there's people watching that tell in his ear like, hey, you should take a look at
Yeah,
this.
VAR can also look at it like without
Well,
needing.
Controversy, Edgar.
More controversy.
Yeah, a lot of controversy. If you
That's
watch
what I'm
hockey
hoping
at
that
all,
Distro at least looks at it after the fact.
No, trust me. I already know what's gonna happen.
I don't trust
They're
you, Guti, because you don't
They-
know
they-
nobody in Distro.
I don't.
not gonna look at anything, bro.
I don't
Because at
think
this
so
point,
either.
they just don't
They,
care.
they do look at shit, bro. We've
No.
seen it. It happened all last year. They look at shit after the fact, and then they do fines. They looked at
I don't think
at
so.
Messi.
It's against us. I hope you realize that. Of course, because it's
Oh,
Messi.
dude,
It's
don't
against
be
us.
that guy, Guti. Don't be the guy that is. Everybody's against us. It's the Galaxy. Nobody likes us.
Oh, I believe that actually.
Yeah,
I've been a Lakers
Verga, tú
fan long
también,
enough to
güey.
know
No mames.
that happens. It happens to the greats, Chewy. I know you're from Texas, San Antonio, Laredo, wherever, and you don't have many great teams. But once you start following great teams,
They did it to Messi, bro. They did it to Messi. That's all
So
you need to say. They did it to
hate
Messi.
us because they ain't us.
yeah.
Peanut butter
Well,
and jealous.
at the half, Emilio Garces did come out. I'm not sure what the injury is, but Julian
Ankle.
Aldo came in. It was an ankle. It's
I
because of the
think
third
so
tune.
because he tracked back on one of the plays and
Garces hurt his calf.
Calf.
was calf.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that
Julian Aldo
carpet.
comes in on the left, then you throw John the Rock Nelson on right, and the second half begins, and it's more of the same of the first half. To be honest, it was an ugly game. It looked like the Vancouver had a good block defense
Halftime show.
system. Yeah, and
Halftime show. You guys want to be more mad before we continue?
get me more mad, bro.
This is gonna go.
Matter.
This is my new heel like character here.
This one.
And I'm working on.
Go ahead.
What?
Did you know they're rearranging the alphabet? It's no joke.
They're not
They're
rearranging it. It's the song.
Yeah, that's the song because these kids,
They're not rearranging the letters, fool.
whatever the song, because these kids nowadays with their Fortnites and their and their iShow speeds and shit, they can't say LMNOP, bro.
LMNOP.
Yeah,
LMNOP.
yeah, they can't say it. So they're singing changing the song.
It's in LMAO. Huh?
Huh?
It's in LMAO.
Yeah.
That did get me mad.
It's like L Batman sign asterisk hashtag OP.
Oh my gosh, that's an enraging stat there, sir.
Yeah, it's Angry Sunday. Let's go.
It's so random, bro.
It is, but as you can see, it lives rent free in my head.
Yeah, very much.
Nah. Good luck, guys. Good luck going to sleep. Watch, you're gonna be laying there. Laying there, and you're gonna reach for your phone.
We're
Like,
gonna look
I gotta look this up.
The one that got me, and Guti, you're what, 22?
23.
22 and a half. Okay. Did you use PEMDAS? This is a serious question. Did you use PEMDAS for
Yes,
math?
sir. Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Please
that'll-
excuse my
okay.
dear and Sally, homie.
What?
All right, moving on.
Okay, cool.
That was it?
That was it.
Who's Tia Sally?
I know. I was like, what?
Yeah, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Oh, I
Edgar,
didn't learn it like that.
Edgar's old enough, or that's his actual Aunt Sally.
I remember it. I remember it. Seventh grade.
Edgar was using the incubus, or what is it? The accubus? Whatever the hell.
Abacus.
I don't even know what you're talking about, man. The
There we go,
incubus.
abacus.
It's Morris.
I was the incubus. I prefer a succubus. Thank you.
Hey, talk to me later. I mean, what?
So Marco Royce and Christian Ramirez did come into the game,
They did. Wow,
and
wow.
they made none of impact, dude. This game, I know it's only 2 games, and you still want to start.
Wait, you forgot Isaia Parente.
Yeah, well, that was the sub for Lucas Sanabria, who seems to have gotten a maybe a collarbone injury, maybe a shoulder injury. Not sure. We're just speculating from what we've seen on some online post, but it doesn't look good. And he didn't look good coming down on that injury. He was holding his, not sure if it was shoulder or his collarbone, but those type of injuries are pretty serious.
Yeah, ask me about it.
Yeah, from what I've been hearing, it's confirmed obviously suffered something, and they're fearing that it is a fractured collarbone, which will lay him out for a long time.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Pooch is out for a while, right? And then the guy who's supposed to step in and alleviate some of the pressure, from his position, now he's out for a while too. It's like, damn, bro.
Yeah.
Let's just put Sanabria on a injury ending whatever list, so we can get somebody else right away.
So that was something that I was going to ask you guys.
Johnny Russell, let's bring him in, Eddie.
Because Spenny had mentioned on the chat too that why doesn't the LA Galaxy do this? Because if they do keep him, he's going to probably be out for more than 4 months, right? And then for him to still get back into shape and into playing with contact, it's going to take a little longer.
He hasn't even meshed with the team. He
Yeah,
doesn't even know how
and
to
it
play with the
sucks.
team either. So what the fuck?
It sucks. His first year here, trying to adapt to a new system, a new style of play, a new league, and then you get injured and sidelined for a few months. That's kind of rough as a professional. Anyway, the other guys to lose at the depth. Brian White
Oh, wait,
scores over
your,
Zonka.
your question. You were gonna ask
My
us something.
question:
I
Would
was
you
like,
would you guys want to do that? What Chewy just mentioned.
you
Put
Spenny had mentioned. Oh, yeah, Chewy
it's
mentioned. Yeah,
Chewy just mentioned it. Would you guys want to do that and go out and get another player that could probably fill that role?
if there's hope in the season, you have to. Too
It's two
many
games
injuries.
in. 2 games in, Eddie Edgar. Would
Too,
you want to do that?
you have to though because it's
You got to do
you're gonna
something
do
right now.
something. Yeah, it's so long that you got to.
I
Like that's
think
it. Like
I think if LA Galaxy was not competing in the Champions Cup and the focus was just entirely on regular season, I don't think there would be such a sense of urgency. But there's the fact that you want to do well in the Champions Cup because there's no guarantee you're going to have another opportunity to go on another cup run. But here you are, right? After so long, you get that chance to go for that Champions Cup, and you would think after such a successful season, even though you lost some people, you have that core of the team still there, and you can go on a good cup run. And the people that are coming in are getting hurt, and you're like, no, man. So it's hard. It's hard. So right now, do what you have to do to make sure that you remain competitive. Because yeah, maybe the Champions Cup might be out of reach now at this point, but at least you can salvage some of the beginning of the regular season so that when all the major pieces start to come back in the middle and towards the end of the season, you could go on a good run and go into the playoffs hot. Because I was chatting with Cameron, who covers Seattle earlier, and he's like, looks like you guys are gonna do that thing where you start off cold and you're gonna get hot towards the middle of the season. And I was like, are you serious? He's like, yeah, I can see that happening. So if
I
this is
mean,
an outsider telling us that, so if you're a Galaxy fan, don't lose hope, man. It's a Seattle fan telling us that, and they do that year in, year out. So
No, but the thing is, yeah, we have a lot of pieces that are hurt that are gonna fit right back in really good. But Sanabria, that's a forward. That's somebody that we're using up top. We don't have nobody else.
no, he's a mid.
Oh, he's a mid that we're using as kind of looking as a forward. He's up top a lot of the times. Well, at least right now.
He's supposed to be like a box to box, and he hasn't really done that yet. I think
He hasn't
he
done
was still
anything
trying to
yet.
find his footing within the team, and a lot of people are upset because they're like, "Well, how come we don't see that yet?" Well, it takes a while, man. Especially when you're new and you're trying to adjust to a system after having spent your entire young career, in an academy and working your way up to a senior squad in a different part of the world. It takes a while to adjust.
And
yeah.
that's exactly why, like, put him in a season ending.
Yeah,
If it looks like that's gonna be the thing, and I mean, bring somebody else. You're only losing what, 3 weeks, 4 weeks at the most of a player.
But that's still a lot. Imagine the LA Galaxy don't win an MLS match in those 3 to 4 weeks. That means you're starting the season off 0-6, and it's really tough to recover from that. And I know we shouldn't be panicking right now,
oh, I'm panicking.
but
I'll
so
come listen.
everything is not in our favor right now. I mean, we had to go
so
deep
uh,
into the squad to get some players. I mean, Parente played today.
Dude, we got
so
a guy that's named Harbor Freight. What the fuck? I didn't even know we had a guy like that on our team.
sounds like some kind of trucking company.
Oh yeah, dude.
So
Like, damn.
I looked it up, guys, real quick. The
Mhm.
recovery time for a fractured collarbone, it's anywhere from 6 to 8 weeks, and then on top of that, you got physical therapy and the other stuff that comes with it. And this is
Plus,
for a
getting back
normal
into a
person,
fit.
right?
Yeah,
This is
So
for
you
a
just
normal
next
person. When I
week
talk about
going.
an athlete who has to go in and perform in a physical, sport, right, where you have
Contact.
people banging into you.
His
So
position's a lot of contact too.
yeah.
yeah, so it's gonna take expect this guy to be out at least 2 months before we see him back up and running and in full contact practice and that kind of stuff. Because yeah, he's young and he's gonna heal, but collarbone injury, you always get that little bump if you've never seen it on somebody, but you meet somebody who has a little bump, ask them and they're like, yeah, I fractured my collarbone or I broke it or something like that.
And then the fucked up thing is, dude, once he comes back, the first game he plays, whoever is on that other side is gonna be like, here's a bump, and then
And
he's
and next
gonna
thing you know, Drew
fucking
Fisher is
get
also
hurt again.
refereeing that game. He's gonna like just turn around
Damn it,
like
Drew
a
Fisher.
blind WWE ref, right?
Yeah. Well, the LA Galaxy lose at the depth. Brian White scores on a beautiful cross. By the way, hit him right on top of the head. He just had it redirected.
Don't give them credit, bro.
I mean,
I mean,
it was right over Zanka. Maybe Zanka could have reacted a little bit quicker
He
and
should have.
read
He
the play,
should.
but he should.
I,
But it just credit to the pass
I
too,
caught
right?
that. I caught that earlier from Zancaleta that there was a play where a drawn up play where they go far post to Yoshida and he heads it back, and Zancaleta just can't get off the ground, and just
Yeah.
copy paste when they scored on us. He doesn't even leave the ground.
That's because the gravity is a little heavier in Canada. Did you know that?
Nah,
They have higher
the thing
taxes,
that
too.
I didn't like is that he's like, we're already towards the tail end of the game, and you stop. Like, you see the ball going over your head, but you stop. Like, bro, that's the worst thing. Like you want people to be right behind, like be behind you. You want, not just the team is behind you, but you want the fans behind you, and you're not showing that extra effort, right? You stop and then just look at the ball and then go like, he scored.
yeah. Well,
Come on, dude.
it was a beautiful cross, though. There should have been a little bit more awareness on a defensive play, seeing that Zanka is the new guy coming in, and trying to adjust his game style to everybody else around him who's already been here, knowing the system. He got lost. It is what it is. Is it the LA guys here 0-2 to start off the season? It's
Galaxy
hard.
zero.
Real quick about that Zanka thing. Sorry, Eddie. Can you say it one more time, Eddie?
Galaxy zero puntos.
With the other
No.
hand, so you can make the P correctly.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, zero puntos.
There you go.
There it is.
No, the one of the things I was going to say, because we were talking about the roster earlier, right? At the starting roster, and when I saw it, I thought to myself, okay, so Garces is starting, at the right flank. I thought to myself, at some point in this game, they're probably gonna sub out Zanka, bring in Aude, and have Garces move into that middle position alongside Yoshida, and have Aude, and Nelson on both wingback positions.
Mm-hmm.
But because Garces got hurt, all of a sudden you don't have that option, and you got to keep old man Zanka in there, and damn, oh well,
Yeah.
that happens, man.
None of the subs had an impact on this game. It's clear that we're missing our DP players. That's why they're DP players.
Oh,
And
another question.
Yeah.
Also, and Eddie, you can jump all over this if you want. You could drag up that dead horse and beat it again. I felt like LA Galaxy's energy level went down the moment that Winder stepped out and Roy stepped in. Boom.
Confirm.
I don't know what energy level you saw. There was no energy level. It's just
from anybody.
I feel like the whole team was just pretty much out of it today, bro.
I would
went
agree.
flat, like really flat at that.
I can't agree with you because there was no energy level to begin with. So I don't know what you were seeing.
Hey, just saying.
We couldn't get out of that. Our defensive half at all, bro.
We had possession, but with no intent to actually attack or anything. Yeah, it was just the back line basically holding the ball and then hitting out wide and then losing the ball out wide.
Yeah, like every time we try to I guess you could say counter, we were trying to push the ball forward. And it's like it's either if we were to do something stupid to lose possession or they would just stop us.
Yeah, today was an ugly match. This has been. I saw in the chat earlier. Willis mentioning that this reminds him of GBS ball. Not sure how bad this is, but they didn't look good today at all.
I need to watch this nasty taste. I'm not going to watch Elimination Chamber again.
And to even make my day worse, my Clippers just lost to the stupid Lakers.
Yes, sir.
Damn it. 3 L's
Yeah,
in 1 week.
that's
Put your hands in here, bro.
that's what happens when the NBA, gives you gifts after gifts after gifts
Right?
after gifts after gifts to
Right?
keep you
'Cause-
relevant, right?
yeah, I know, because everybody wants
But
to play for the Clippers, but
you know
the
what though?
NBA just pushes people that way, right?
You know what?
LeBron
It's
should
not.
have
It's the clip. You can also blame the Clippers history because who do we have as an owner for so damn long, like a scumbag, right?
I'm
Yeah.
scumbag
Don.
racist.
Yeah, scumbag racist. So, oh well. At least have a good owner now.
Wait, wait,
Little
hold on, hold on, hold
We
on,
had
hold on,
John C. Riley as our owner. That was dope.
hold on.
John C.
So,
Riley.
so you guys still supported knowing he was a scumbag racist. You guys still supported him.
That didn't come out until that one time. Like you would hear like little rumblings here and there, but it wasn't like social media was blowing up like it
Yeah,
is now.
I didn't know
Like
till
when
that
I
thing
first
came
heard
out.
it, I was really conflicted. I was like, oh my god, I was like, are you kidding me? So all that stuff we've been hearing, like little rumors here and there, and all of a sudden it blew up, and you're like, wow. I mean, but even before then, and I know we're going off the subject real quick, but it's something you can also talk about other owners and other sports, right? I had a sense that the Clippers were never going to be good until that guy either died or they forced the team from his grip. And I was like, it sounds terrible. I was like, please die, you
Oh,
scumbag, right?
no,
and
come
then
on.
and then the, and then all that stuff happened, and I was embarrassed. I was like, oh my god, I can't believe my team, owner of my team, was involved with that. But then I saw the reaction of the players themselves and the staff, and they wanted to distance themselves as much as they could from him. And I was like, okay, that's the correct reaction. And then of course the NBA came and took him away. But
Good.
yeah, that dude was that dude was he was a stain on the sport, a stain on the team. I mean, he cursed that franchise forever, and now it's trying to see what they can do with this guy who actually cares about him. So,
Yeah, you guys
but
still suck.
we digress, right? Well, the
Let's
NBA keeps giving the Lakers gifts, and it's
Yeah,
the
yeah,
truth.
giving,
let's get back to the LA Galaxy talk.
Colt.
Little Apple did bring up a point that I'll just read it off. All we got to do is be in the playoff picture and try to make a run at the end of the season. The thing is,
Yep.
having a full, healthy, competent team is going to be hard to do this season. Well, at least at the beginning. Right now, I don't know what the answer is for the LA Galaxy to improve. I know the coaching staff and everybody around them is trying their best to come up with the best lineups, the best game plans, and everything. They just don't have the personnel.
I just want to read this off real quick. It's a tough route, right? We got to
Mhm.
make the playoffs. The beginning of the season, I think, can it really hurt those hopes. Obviously, we have CONCACAF Champions Cup, so it gets a little congested at first. But if we win, it gets more congested later. But just look at the schedule. So we get St. Louis at home. You saw how St. Louis played San Diego. It's winnable, but still, you look at us, right? Portland. Then after that, it's Portland away in Portland for us. You know how that usually goes. Minnesota away, but this depleted team, I feel like anywhere away is bad. Orlando comes here. Orlando is not a bad team. We go to Salt Lake. Salt Lake, maybe
Battle of the mid.
'cause it's a dumpster fire. And after that, it gets a little easier because Houston comes in. We go to Austin. Portland comes in, and then we go to Kansas. So, but those first few games, oof,
Yeah.
oof.
Ugh, that is going to get tough.
That St. Louis game next week is scary.
Yeah, that St. Louis game is not looking great, honestly.
Yep. And the thing is, they have to travel to Costa Rica on Wednesday to play Herediano. And then after that, they got to come back and play on a Sunday match, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Also, I want to share something that
Good.
because I listened to other pods, and I was listening to the Flyer with Footy guys, the St. Louis guys, right? Phil
Shout out
and
to
Matt.
Matt.
And they were saying they were already talking about the LA Galaxy match, and these guys are salivating at what's gonna be. They were like saying, LA Galaxy looks like a complete and utter mess right now. They got injuries, and they had to play that game in Costa Rica. They got to go from Canada to Costa Rica. By the time they get to us, they're gonna be easy pickings. And like right now St. Louis is way much better than the LA Galaxy is at this point of the season, and we expect St. Louis to smash them. And this is like way ahead. Like these guys should be focusing. They should have been focusing on the match this weekend, but they're already like looking at like, yeah, we had an opportunity to get 6 points, in 2 weeks, and I'm like, damn, dude, really?
It seems like that's gonna be a trending
Yeah.
feeling within
Remember teams used
MLS
to fear
opponents.
us.
They used to. This year they see a wounded animal, and they got to go and get their points. And the LA Galaxy right now is somewhat easy pickings. We have an injury. We have a depleted roster with injuries. That's tough to manage. I wouldn't want to be in Vanny's position because it's gonna be tough. And the thing is, the LA Galaxy fan base is gonna get restless at one point, and it's gonna be. Hopefully, it's not too ugly, but it's gonna get ugly. And hopefully, it doesn't. But you know how we are. Anyway, you guys want to do some awards for this match?
Sure. They all get Geos.
Well, we'll start with you, Eddie. Who gets a BJ, a bad job award, or a Geo game is off award?
I'll just go straight to Geo. Just I'm gonna give it to Vanny. I think Vanny got it wrong again, and could honestly, if we don't have Garces in the next few games with that injury, you could probably put that in Vanny. He did. He put him in a weird position, putting two center backs that don't know each other to start. When you had Alde in the bench, probably could have even prevented that first goal. So, Vanny, this one's on you, buddy.
Edgar, who's your game is off award to?
Oh my goodness. I could say Zanka, Cerrillo.
Let me eliminate Zanka for you because remember the word is game is off. I don't think we know Zanka's game yet.
Okay, I'll say Cerrillo then. And like I mean, I already spoke about that earlier. I just felt like he just had a bad game, and maybe if Galaxy was in a better position, a better situation, we could say, oh, he could have a mulligan and come back stronger next time. But we're in a very delicate part of the season where everybody's trying to get on the same page and get going in time for the Champions Cup. And buddy, you gotta be ready to go, especially since you're young. But
Yeah. Guti, who do you have as your game is off award? And everybody in the chat, if you guys want to play along with us,
Chime
give
in.
us your game is off award. Guti, whose game was off for you?
I agree with Edgar. It's a Rio.
Chuyaso?
Marco.
Marco Boys?
Oh,
Yep.
sorry, but let me rephrase that. Edwin Cirillo.
I think I'm going to give mine to Fagundes. He did have a few choice of words after the game about reffing. Well, he didn't mention the refs, but he was not happy about how this game was officiated. And of course, all of us Galaxy fans weren't happy either because that should have been a fucking red. But whatever. But to me, Diego Fagundes gets it. Not sure. I don't know. To be honest. I don't know what we're doing, bro. I don't know. Fagundes gets it. Do you guys have any honorable mentions?
I'll go.
Do you guys go ahead?
This one's for you, Edgar. I'm gonna give the honorable mention to Winder. Why? Because he just didn't make me mad. That's all. That's it.
Edgar, who do you give your Hartman Award, the honorable mention?
well, I was gonna say Winder, but he said it. To
You
do
can
something
take
a little
it.
different, I'm gonna give it to Gabriel Peck because Peck, he did as much as he could with what little he got, and he made his mark. Scored that first
Dude.
goal of the season for the LA Galaxy, got us on the board, give us a shred of hope, right? But Peck can't do everything on his own, man. Poor Peck.
You gotta feel bad for Peck as this continues with this roster and stuff. All the focus is gonna be on him. Like they're just gonna double, triple team him and just close out that lane. He's gonna it's gonna be a long season for him.
Yeah, it is. Guti, who do you give your Hartman Award to?
I feel like I'm gonna get bullied for this, but
You are.
I'm gonna say, that's true. Yoshida.
All right. Hey, he
He
didn't
made
have a bad
that.
game.
he put that big cranium in the way and a shot that probably
Yup,
could
he
have gone
did.
in.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Yeah. El Capitan. Triaso, who do you give your Hartman Award to? The honorable
Same.
mention.
It was going to Yoshida. He played a good enough game.
Good enough, right? That's what it's come down to.
Better than the rest of the defense.
That's true.
I think I'm gonna give it to Gabriel Peck because he scored a goal. He did get that yellow though. Probably could have been mine.
Yellow.
Yeah,
That was a soft yellow.
but he's gonna get the what's the stupid word called? The Hartman. The honorable mention, you got Hartman. Gabriel
Put some
Peck, you get it
respect
for this
for
one.
Gato.
My bad. And now for the most prestigious award in all of MLS. The NAG standing player of the match. Eddie, you want to go first?
Unanimous.
Sure.
Oh, I wanted to go first.
That doesn't really happen too often, but he had heart. He
Is it-
created that goal.
Is it unanimous?
It's Miguelito, baby.
Yeah.
There he gets better than match.
Miguelito.
There's only so
Yeah.
much you could pick from, right? I mean,
I got one.
He was out there, you know, and that jersey was drenched. I'm sure by the end of the game. So
Yeah.
Miguelito, hopefully you prove me wrong and you win more, but this one's for you, buddy.
Yes, sir.
Yep. Same.
Edgar, who you got for your NAG standing player of the match?
Man, I would have given it to Barry if he had scored that goal that Winder gave him, but he's fumbled it and he had to like pass it across the box to Peck. But I'm gonna give it to Garces. Garces played his ass off out there. He in a position that he's not accustomed to. And there was this one play I remember where like they passed the ball to one of the Vancouver wingers, and Garces chased the guy down and bodied him off the ball so hard that dude was flying. It was like people were asking like, is that the foul? To foul? No, that's a good 50-50 shoulder to shoulder tackle by an absolute beast of a man who we're so lucky to have, and hopefully, he'll be back for the game against Herediano. But yeah, that's my next standing.
Yeah, and then the other play that we lost the ball right after that's when he got injured. That's when he tried to run back, and you just see him go like, "Whoa, hold on a second there, buddy."
Does anybody else have somebody that's? Do you have a NAG standing player that's not
Just
Barry?
call everyone. Just call. Give everyone
Yes,
there.
John Nelson.
Oh, you got John Nelson. All right.
Yes.
That's good. Chewy, you said Barry?
Yeah, Barry.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna also give it to Miguel Barry. Miguelito. Woo.
Yeah.
I like it.
I need a find. There you go.
Si no supiste amar,
Dun, dun,
ahora te puedes marchar.
dun, 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 dun,
That's for you, Miguel Barry. You're next standing player of the match this weekend. All right, let's get to some questions.
It took me a second to get to the why you did that song, Miguelito. I'm an idiot. All right.
Oh God Almighty! Come on.
Why?
Come on. All right. From Instagram, Pokesaurus. Killer name.
Nice.
Should have bought out Marco Royce and kept Delgado. Logan Jones. This is going to be a tough season. Yes, sir, it is. Cabrera, 90. Why is Miko starting? He can't even give it pass without hesitating or giving it away. Adam, DC 26. What's it gonna take Mikovic not to be a starter? No, he's not to blame, but don't believe he's MLS caliber.
Oof, that one's tough.
That one's tough. I mean, these last two games he hasn't really proven why he should be starting over McCarthy.
Let me think. I'm not sure if you guys ever noticed how Mikovic plays. Well, not plays, but there was something about him. I think it was one of the corners that I had mentioned, I think, to Eddie. There was a corner where he looked like he was ready to come out, but then he stuttered.
He hesitates.
Yeah. And I've mentioned this before. If you're a keeper and you're planning to come out, just do it. Like, there's no reason for you to hesitate to come out.
Who did you compare him to earlier, Edgar?
Bond.
Jonathan Spirit Airlines Bond.
Bond was a prime example. Bond is a prime example of he's too scared to come out. He was too like he stuttered like, oh, he's gonna, oh wait, am I gonna commit? No, I'm gonna stay, and then really can see the stupid ass goal because of him. I'm not saying that Mikovic is like that. I did see that he was afraid to come out for those type of balls. But hopefully that helps. I hope he somehow
Listens to this pod and learns. Hell yeah.
Yeah, if you want to come out, do it, bro. That's how it is. You're a fucking keeper. You're supposed to do what you got to do to just make sure that ball's in your hands. Commit. That's all I gotta say.
You
Come
think
out that closet and put those balls in your hands.
what?
Chewy was like holding it in there, like, hey.
What was that? Do you guys think he could have came out on that goal?
No,
The
he's not
second
talking
goal?
about that goal.
I know, but you think he could have came out on
I
that one?
feel that's the thing for me. I feel like he was a little too out on that goal right there. That's why he didn't get no reaction. I feel like if he was somewhat more back and on like kind of like towards on like the line, he probably would have had an effort and made it save and probably saved it if possible. But I feel like he was a little bit more like his positioning wasn't really great.
Yeah.
Well, there he goes.
The last goal is that what you're talking
Yeah.
about? Yeah, I mean, yeah, I feel that was just a good ball.
Sambaleta. What I call him?
Zancaleta.
Zancaleta.
Adam DC26 also says something I dislike about Vanny is he does subs too late in the game. Barry should have came off earlier. I don't think so. Barry should have probably stayed the whole game.
Yeah.
But then
I
again,
think Barry should have came off.
we have Champions League in during on Wednesday. So
Oh, that's what he meant. Save our secret.
we gotta
weapon.
save our secret weapon, baby. Arped Rasa 83. Panic time or will we be all right? Personally, I think we'll be all right.
Yeah, we got Lipley. We're good.
Panic time.
He also says Royce is worse than Douglas Costa.
Oh, okay.
No, you can't compare it.
Yeah, because Royce won a trophy.
No, and DP in 10.
Damn. Well, the LA Galaxy lose to Vancouver. I called it BC Palace earlier. I keep doing that, and it's BC Plays,
buddy.
and it's
BC Palace sounds better.
Yeah,
it does sound better.
That you can't do shit right.
It's BC Plays. Well, the LA Galaxy go to Vancouver and take them now. And
BC
very
Palace-
ugly.
VC Palace sounds like the Chinese restaurant from TJ, but in Canada.
Wait. Anyway.
I'm just saying, if they were to make one, they should just call it BC Palace.
Your G's are 0-2 this season, and now they have to travel on Wednesday. Well, I don't know if it's on Wednesday. They don't travel on Wednesday. I think they travel maybe tomorrow. They travel to Costa Rica to play the first place team Herediano in Costa Rica. It's going to be a long season, boys. Long season. Before we leave, you guys got anything else to say? Something about wrestling? Something about something? Anything about something that's not as depressing as the LA Galaxy right now? No? Are we gonna...
The fact that you think Sami Zayn's whack is insane.
No, by the way, that Kevin Owens match versus Sami Zayn was ridiculously dope. That was a banger.
I love that match, but I was also there. I was at the AEW event where Swerve fought against Hangman Page, and that Texas Death Match.
Oh, that was
good.
To me,
that was so much more brutal. But still, seeing what KO and Sami Zayn did, I mean, damn, dude. Especially that one spot where Kevin Owens got thrown into the chair, and that could have been so much worse than it was. But if you guys
aren't fans of wrestling, this one I think would be enjoyable for casual. Go on to Peacock, go on to Elimination Chamber, fast forward to Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. It's brutality. That's all it is.
Yeah, if you like seeing blood and stuff, watch that.
If you live outside the US, just go to Netflix.
Netflix or VPNs, whatever.
We were gonna have a guest on to talk about the Herediano match, but he wasn't able to make it today. Are we gonna be able to do anything tomorrow, Edgar?
I doubt it because unfortunately, his like little baby is sick, so he's
Oh,
not able to join us.
yeah.
But I can give you guys a quick rundown on Herediano.
Yeah, really quick.
They're in first place in Costa Rica and Clausura right now, 25 points, 3 points ahead of Punta Arenas. Um, they
Would you call me?
what? No, they just dispatched RSL, which is it's incredible because uh, w- one of the things that we talked about when we had a panel on earlier, um, in the month was about CONCACAF Champions Cup and how some of the Central American teams
Oops.
can pull off some upsets, right? And Herediano did it. They actually traveled to Utah and they took out RSL, an RSL team that you would think would do something better. But they're I guess they're still in their early season form, and they got caught and they got completely defeated at home. Now, can Galaxy beat Herediano? I don't think they can beat them on the road. They're a difficult team. They play in a very tough environment. But the one thing that we could maybe hang our hat on that might be hopeful is that the Nicaraguan champions, yes, Nicaraguan soccer champions, Real Esteli, they actually defeated Herediano in the Central American Cup. And I'm thinking, man, if the Nicaraguan champions, right, Nicaraguan football isn't exactly the greatest. If Nicaraguan champions can take out Herediano, LA Galaxy should be able to, but it's not.
Mhm.
It's gonna all hinge on that second leg. I think. Here at home, they can't drop the ball like
So
RSL did
no,
against
I
in
think
that second leg.
I think this game is kind of like the point for us. I think we have to go in there, probably get a goal or two, and close out the game pretty much in there. I think our defense there. If that second game we gotta go in just as calm as not as calm as possible, but we can't let them score or we can't. And this is the thing. This is the thing that bothers me, and I've I've seen it before in Concacaf. Is that we go, let's say, to like a team in Mexico or in the Costa Rica or something like that, and we can see just stupid goals, and then when it comes to going back home, we just don't try. And I think this game is more important. We need to just win and hope that we don't get scored on.
I'd like to take this opportunity to congratulate our friends over at Costa Rica and Indianos and qualify into the round of eight in the CONCACAF Champions Cup.
And
Damn, you gave up that early?
the, the only
Uh,
the only thing I'll bring up for that is, look, we're probably not gonna have Garces play. I wouldn't want him to play. Heal up. And we're not gonna have Sanabria, right? Like those two are more than likely out for this next game. So, fuck, man. We have a lot of G2 players. I mean, not even G2. We have a lot of, what is it, Victoria block players? No, what is it? Victorville. I
Ventura
Another
forgot.
County.
team, Vancouver
Victorville
FC.
FC,
Vancouver
Victor
FC.
Vic.
Remember?
Vancouver FC.
No, what are they? Victorville, right? Is it?
They're actually going to
Ventura.
be a team
Ventura
up there,
County.
by the way.
No, but what
I
is it?
literally,
What is the
It's
G2
Ventura
name?
County FC.
There we
Ventura
go,
County.
Ventura.
I
Fuck,
literally
man,
have
I
their
forget.
jersey right here.
I mean, I thought you were kidding, dude.
No, I couldn't remember who they were. Oh shit, nice.
Like he's got Carson Klein shirt
Um,
right there.
so
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
there's a lot of Victoria players from
Ventura
here. So
County.
Ventura, there we go. Players, at least they were on the sub list. So I'm guessing those are the ones that are probably gonna start against the Ticos. So yeah,
I mean, this is a cup that we all mentioned that it's important, right? That we should want to compete in this one.
yeah,
I
but
mean,
not with the losses we have right now, like
Now
player
that hope is
losses.
slipping away pretty quickly.
Yeah, with the player
Which
losses, not the losses in fucking game.
Herediano's like licking their chops right now too. They're like, yeah, we're gonna smash those guys.
imagine, let's not imagine anything like that.
Uh,
Okay,
um,
guys, go ahead, Edgar.
yeah, I was gonna say Herediano. They, they haven't lost a game in a while. I'm looking at their last matches. They haven't. The last time they lost a game, was against Alajuela, and that was like last season. So there you go.
Hey, we haven't won a game in a while.
I mean, last year. I'm
Well,
sorry.
hey.
Yeah, so,
Something's got to give.
We haven't won a game since December 7th.
There you go. And what a
Royce,
game that was.
Royce, Peck, and the guys are gonna trip out on the environment of a Central American team. That's gonna be fun, I guess. All right, I'm kind of done talking about this impressive stuff. It hasn't been a good day for me.
Let's
Both
go
my team
rewatch
lost.
Elimination Chamber. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go rewatch Elimination Chamber. Eddie, where can the people find you?
Fucking Logan Paul, baby.
You can find me here watching the Elimination Chamber, and that's it. Thank you for watching NAG. Follow us on NAG and all socials.
Edgar,
you.
where can the people find you?
oh, you guys can find me probably on Wednesday. God willing, I'll be at the Deftone show at Inglewood, Mars Volta
E.
Deftones. I'll be there. So if you're going there, look for me. I'll be wearing my battle vest. And Thursday, hopefully Thursday, we can have our buddies Matt and Phil from Flyover Footy to preview the Galaxy match versus St. Louis. We'll keep you posted on that. But you guys can find me on Twitter and on Blue Sky as Edgar Nags. Also on Instagram, Edgar Nags. Thank you very much.
Guti, where can the people find you?
Wu-Tang for life.
Sunday, AEW Revolution, Crypto.com Arena.
Ooh, fire. You can find me as Brian Nags on all social medias. And of course, last but not least, Chuyaso, where can the people find you?
Oh, you guys can find me as Travis JA, Travis Hot on all my socials. Pretty easy, pretty simple to find.
Hey, look at that.
He said the line. 0 puntos.
Cero. No, I can't do that shit.
Cero puntos.
All right, guys, it's time for us to get up out of here. Depressing Sunday. Go watch Elimination Chamber. Whatever. Well, that does it from us here at News Across the Galaxy. From Eddie, Edgar, Guti, Chuyaso, and myself, we're gonna get up out of here. And as always, keep on nagging.
Keep on nagging.
Arriba los Lakers.
Nice.
Nagging.
Los pinches Lakers, güey, puta.
Cero.
Gotta get tickets to the
Miguelito
Wu-Tang
Bendy.
show.